Having not done anything for a very long time, I thought I'd do a bit of an update as to why and what I also intend to do hopefully this year. So in August I broke my knee. It's still given me mobility issues now, and it certainly meant that I couldn't, for example, make anything or finish what I'd started to make because I couldn't walk, and it certainly wouldn't have been safe to use power tools and so on. So making projects this year. First one, which you can't see, is an iron horseshoe, which I'm going to try and forge into a sax. That's going to be interesting. Finish this, which is an English scalping knife. It's a trading knife that Britain sold to American Red Indians and trappers and the traders and the explorers who went out there. There's quite a lot of history behind these knives, and I've never really seen very much about them. So I'm going to finish making that. That's not far off actually, but a blade, put an edge on it, heat treat, finish the handle, and it's going to have quite a unique sheath as well, designed to cope with sort of colder temperatures. But yeah, so there's things going on with that. Nice piece of oak. Weapon Collector a little while ago did a good video, I thought, about how to make things like this into knife scales. So I've been assiduously collecting lots and lots of silver bottle caps, particularly silver ones because I like that colour, and I'm thinking about what kind of blade to put them on. So a bit of a tail that's wagged the dog, starting with the handle material, but I've got an idea of a sort of fairly modern, largish thing. Reviewing, I bought this Gerber copper knife recently, and I started to buy things now because I like the looks of them. I've got more than enough blades to do pretty much everything I want. We'll have a good look at this, and it's really, really useful feature, and a kind of, what the hell didn't I think of that, is its movable thumb stud. Yeah, it slides up and down in that little groove. Isn't that a brilliant idea? And it makes it really nice. Obviously you can change it to the size of your hand. It's described as a gentleman's knife. It's certainly very nice, very handsome looking blade. We'll look into that a little bit more. The one that I'm looking forward to most, and this, I've wanted one of these Condor Blue Rivers for a couple of years. I've struggled to really justify spending £100 on a knife that I'm just going to look at, because it's probably the most handsome knife I think I've ever bought. But I did in the end, and there's a fair amount to say about that as well. Apart from war and other similar things, and goodness me, that is really, really handsome, isn't it? It's beautiful, and it's very, very sharp, and there's a nice shape to the handle, and just look at it. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've wanted one of these for a couple of years. Did some hours over Christmas and New Year. I just thought, yeah, go on, why not? And I bought one of these recently, the Flail. It was on special offer from Raven Forge, so I just thought, well, I'm having one of them. Obviously, mobility a bit compromised. I'm not going to be swinging one of these around. It's probably going to be another couple of months really before I've managed to do very much with it. It is quite heavy. There's a whole thing about were these actually weapons that existed. Well, they sort of were, but in the same vein as the multi-turreted tank, they didn't last very long. But I think eventually, when I finally get around to being able to do it, this is going to be quite a lot of fun to play with, and it looks awesome, and it just looks like you want a medieval knight to carry it, doesn't it? So yeah, there's lots of were these actually a real weapon stories, and we'll have a look a bit more into that as well. I've also been into air guns for a very long time. I'm getting much more into vintage air guns, so we're going to do a little restoration on this Webley Premier that I bought. I bought it off eBay actually, and they don't announce gun sale, so just be careful what you look for. You can find some nice interesting stuff. So this was, I think, 50 quid posted. Obviously it needs a barrel and a latch and the cocking bit that goes between the barrel and the mainspring, but it's pretty much all there, and for what I paid for it, yeah, you'd need to spend 3 or 4 times at least to get one that actually works. I just need to do that big plug there, look. Do not remove. I'm not going to, but how much? Somebody's got that written on it. How much do you want to take it apart? So hopefully a nice vintage spring air pistol will come out of this. Hopefully by the summer. I'm not sure about refinishing it. I've got a bit of a thing about old things looking old. You know, there's plenty of these that have been restored. Anyway, got some piece of oak to make some grips for it. And yeah, hopefully that should be quite a nice little project to do. There's loads of other things I want to do as well. There's a Polish Bandit knife that I'm going to try and make. Not very well known really, but I'm going to have a go at one of those as well. Much of it is going to depend on the weather, which has been pretty poor recently, hence another reason of really not going out and doing anything, because when I've had a day off, it's been chucking it down with rain. But hopefully there's enough here that will be interesting enough to keep people entertained. It will certainly keep me entertained. I'm just entertained just looking at this. I can't get over what a handsome blade this is. It really, oh yeah, anyway, I've spent the last week since I actually got it just looking at it, and I think I've cut a couple of things with it, but I'm just looking at it and done some improvements as well. There's a lot of true oil gone on there, which I think is really bringing the grain out. The sheath was dry as dust, and it's had quite a lot of dubbing on it, and it's getting there, and it holds the blade in there beautifully. So that's a few of the plans for this year. It's weather dependent, and being able to walk properly dependent as well, although that is getting better. So let's get doing some more videos.